The mysterious case of Natasha Ryan is still a bit of a mystery until this day. At 14, she decided to run away from home, and she allowed her family to believe she was dead for 5 years. She made headlines as the girl in the cupboard, after being found hiding inside by the police. On August 31, 1998, Jennifer Kerwin dropped her daughter, 14-year-old Natasha Ryan, at Rockhampton High School. Natasha failed to return home later that evening. Jennifer called the police and reported her missing. Natasha was a troubled teen, with a history of school suspensions, drug use and self-harm. Apparently, this was not the first time for Natasha to run away. She was known to have left home before, helped by her boyfriend Scott Black. The first time she left, she had been gone for only 2 days, before eventually returning home. Black was 7 years her senior, which made him 21 years old while she was only 14 years of age. But what made things even weirder was the fact that Black had dated Natasha's sister before dating her. The police assumed Natasha had run off with Scott once again, but when they knocked on his door, he insisted she was not with him, and that he had no idea where she was. Natasha was one of several females who had gone missing from Rockhampton in 1998 and 1999. The city was paralyzed with fear, as they realized a mad serial killer was on the loose. An extensive search was undertaken by police. Extensive areas of bushland were burned to aid the search, and more than 100 local state emergency service volunteers gave their time to help. The search cost taxpayers an estimated $400,000. After failing to find her, Natasha's family eventually accepted that she was dead. As the hours turned into days, and the days turned into weeks, Natasha's parents, Jennifer and Robert, feared they would never see their daughter again. In May of 1999, a man named Leonard John Fraser, who was later dubbed the Rockhampton Rapist, was charged with the rape and murder of little Kira. While in prison awaiting trial, he confessed to the murders of Natasha, Sylvia, Beverly and Julie, and even drew a map to where the authorities could locate Natasha's remains, but they were never recovered. Nearly 2 years later, Natasha's parents would receive the biggest shock of their lives when their daughter seemingly came back from the dead. Prosecutor Paul Rutledge announced that Leonard Fraser was not guilty of the murder of Natasha Ryan. As sounds of shock filled the courtroom, Natasha's father nearly collapsed in disbelief. In April 2003, police received an anonymous tip that Natasha was living in secret in Scott Black's home. When officers entered, they found 18-year-old Natasha, silent and trembling inside her usual hiding place, the bedroom capboard. It turned out she had been alive, and well all along, living with Scott, a mere 5 minutes away from the home she grew up in. 14-year-old Natasha had spent close to 5 years living in secret with her boyfriend, Scott Black, who was 22 at the time she moved into his home in the nearby town of Yeppoon. She never revealed the specific reason for running away, but her parents' divorce and undisclosed troubles at school as contributing factors. Natasha and Scott were living less than 5 minutes away from Natasha's mother in Rockhampton, after Scott was transferred to the city for his work as a milkman. Natasha remained isolated, with the curtains drawn, no contact with the outside world, no sunlight on her skin. She passed the time watching videos, studying German online, learning to sew, and exercising on home gym equipment. On the odd occasion that visitors came by, Natasha would hide in the bedroom capboard. Natasha was able to convince her boyfriend Scott to take her out one night to go to the beach. Since Black was a delivery man, it was normal for him to be out in the middle of the night. He took her to a nearby beach, where she could walk around by the shore and feel the water against her feet. Maybe for Natasha, it felt like a little bit of freedom from her self-imposed prison. Soon after being discovered alive, questions began to be asked about whether the couple would face criminal charges for their role in the false investigation. Scott was sentenced to 3 years of jail time, but he only had to serve 12 months after his charges were suspended. Scott Black spent 12 months in prison for perjury. He was also ordered to pay $16,740 towards the cost of the 6-figure search effort. Natasha later said she felt bad that her actions led to her partner's sentence. She was fined just $1,000 in 2006 for causing a false police investigation. Natasha Ryan and Scott Black were married on September 29, 2008, right after Scott finished serving his 12-month sentence of perjury. The couple shared an intimate affair, with only a few family and friends who were invited to their special day. Natasha has changed her name to Tash Black. The couple even said that they are hoping that their marriage can finally bring a sense of healing after years of heartache.